Stop Capping Sports Podcast.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Welcome back to Stop Capping Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Dean. We are here with Seth.
What's going on?
It is going. Pretty cool here. This is the first time. Well, last episode was the first time, but that was more of a trial and error. Got the video going here for our podcast. There'll be some good content to follow here shortly. We got some big news today. Before we get started on that, get your beers ready if you have them. Crack that can.
Got my mini voodoo. Feeling
Yeah.
like Andre the Giant right there. fully
I've
gripped.
got a gallon of water. Can't be drinking today. I am in a 3-day fast, so just started it today. Last meal I had was dinner last night. I ate 2 cheeseburgers and a quesadilla. I pigged out. Ate some chips. Pigged out. But yeah, it's been a little tough day. You know, I went to one of the customers today, and they had this little Mexican food truck right out front, and they had, fresh cooking going on. It was like noon, and I'm walking up. Everybody's going to the food truck, and I'm having to walk by smelling all this good like beef tacos and all this crap, and I'm just like, damn. First day is already a task, but yeah, not doing it for religious reasons or anything, just more for like health reasons. But reset my gut, just in case people are curious about why I would be doing a fast. But yeah, no. What you getting into today? What'd you do?
I'm going through it at work, trying to get this chiller back up. Working on this chiller. Got sinus infection going on because I done grinded on it last week, so fought that all weekend. Yesterday, Monday, was tough. This morning, woke up still tough. Finally started to be able to breathe a little bit, talk a little bit. I've basically been just shut down
Right.
for about 6 days now. So finally starting to get a little bit of my voice back, a little bit of breathing back. But
Yeah.
hard at it trying to get this chiller back up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're sanding and stuff. That's probably getting in your lungs.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all see my nice ginger beard here. This all I had a mask on, covering my nose and everything, but all this sideburns, all this over here was all black. Yeah.
Just getting right in there.
Yeah. And it was just coming in through the mask too. I went through two masks, just fully matted them things up. Got to the point with that first one, I couldn't even breathe through the mask. All that metal dust and everything, rust, everything just matted on top of that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to get over all that stuff.
No, that stuff's no joke, man. You got when you have a beard, it's like it's impossible. You can't keep the dust from getting
seal.
in here. Yeah, it doesn't seal, right? Like when I was in the Coast Guard, we would do fireman trainings, like fire, combat, they called it damage control, and we would go through these DSET trainings where we would have to do fireman gear, and if you had a beard, obviously you can't put a mask on because this thing is just all in the way. But yeah, I was one of those front service guys that would go in there to combat the fires that we never had, but just to do the trainings. They just torture you, put you in these sweaty ass or hot ass environments, the engine room while the boat's fully running, and then you got to get your fireman gear on and then just stand in there for a while. It's nothing like a real fire would be, but it's still freaking miserable when you're not actually fighting a fire. You're just like sweating your balls off the whole time. So it's like it was cool. It was cool though. It was a good, fun experience. Learning a lot of different ways to like combat fires and different stuff. But
so speaking of the Coast Guard thing, so something come up today. Sitting there taking a break, and this guy, he hit me up. He's like, have you ever heard? He's like, I've been around on boats and stuff my whole life, fishing and everything. I was like, I've never heard this. He said, but I don't know if anyone's aware, but the frying pan that's off the coast of North Carolina, I guess it was an old rig or something, abandoned old rig but they still operate out there, do different stuff. Well, he went out there on vacation, went out there and done some work or whatever. But anyway, he's taking this ferry out his boat out to the frying pan, and he's pulled out a banana and went to eat his banana. And he told me, he said, yeah, he said, I didn't think nothing of it. He said, but then the captain saw me pull out the banana and was like, whoa, you can't be having bananas on the boat.
What?
Like, yeah. So I looked it up. Apparently, apparently it's a big superstition with boats. That's what I was going to ask you, being the Coast Guard and everything. Did you ever hear that about bananas?
Dude, I eat banana 3 times a week.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
So I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I'll definitely let them know. I looked it up. Apparently, cargo ships and stuff like that back in the day, be transporting bananas from the Caribbean and stuff like that. And
yeah,
bananas would always be found at shipwrecks. So they were looked at as bad luck and, almost like the banana sunk the boat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard that.
I've never heard any of that before.
No, I've sailed all the way across to Africa and went all the way across the Atlantic. I've gone down to South America through the Panama Canal and never heard anything about a banana superstition.
Yeah. Well, apparently they do on fishing boats. The bananas let off some type of gas that is basically a fish repellent. So apparently it's a big deal on fishing boats for sure. I was going to ask you about that as far as the Coast Guard goes.
Yeah, no, never heard that one. That's new. That's new to me. But no, that's actually interesting. I've never heard that. The only superstitions really is like it's not even really a superstition. It's like kind of like a ritual when you go like past the equator or prime meridian, or you have like these like these like nautical, accomplishments, right? These nautical achievements where you have to do these little ceremonies. And so when you go through the equator, you have to do what they call as a shellback ceremony. I've crossed the equator a couple times, so I'm officially a shellback. And then there's other like nautical ones that I've got, but I've got a list of them. You get a little like map of, it's like kind of like a scroll kind of, but it's like it has like this really cool nautical map and like tells you what you did, and you can put like your longitude and latitude. You put your coordinates where you crossed or where you did your ceremony or whatever. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Huh, okay.
But other than that, I've never heard any banana stuff. But no, there's a lot kind of going on in the NFL, but not as much going on for the Panthers. But we did get some news today. It is Tuesday, July 22nd. Ozzy Osbourne died today. That's one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he died today. They're undisclosed. I found that out today. And Josey Jewell lost his job. So we will listen to this a little bit about the Josey Jewell issue.
Here from Panthers.com, so straight from the horse's mouth, the Panthers released linebacker Josey Jewell today.
Whoa, really?
After the veteran continues to experience concussion symptoms.
Oh, man, that sucks.
According to a team spokesperson, the 30-year-old Jewell wanted to prioritize his health and recovery and be considerate of his teammates, and the move allows the Panthers to move forward with a group of players who are able to get all the practice reps when camp opens tomorrow. If all goes well with his recovery, he could return to the team at some point in the future.
Yeah.
So we got Josey Jewell, concussion. This kind of happened to, what is the offensive lineman? Blindside. Michael Orr.
Yeah, Orr.
Michael Orr, 2018, 2019, something like that.
Yeah.
He had a concussion that was like at the end of the season, and then he went through the entire summer, and he got to the preseason, very similar situation, and he still had a concussion. So was never able to kind of clear up the concussion. He would never be able to clear up the concussion, and he was never able to clear concussion protocol. So very similar situation here with Josey Jewell, ultimately leading to him getting released. So what does that do for the Panthers? That's where he was going to be a starter. Like, we're losing a valuable player. We finally got to a point. I mean, Jesus Christ, we finally get to a point where we have a guy and have some depth, at least a little bit of depth. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of depth.
I mean, we're talking about one guy, one depth guy.
Right, and he was a starter. So now we're, where does that take us, right?
Yeah.
Like, for Josey Jewell, like how is losing him going to impact our team? And who's going to be the replacement? Is it going to be Wallace? Are we going to sign someone? Like, who's available right now to be able to be signed in this market post free agency? So here we are in preseason. Hopefully we get like a little cut candidate happen from the Steelers or something who can't make a roster, and we maybe potentially can sign somebody, a veteran, as a depth piece, and let Wallace, third round pick last year. Hey, let him go get some burn. Let him go get some playing time and potentially take over that starting role and lock it in. We'll see, right? But there's definitely a hole there. There's definitely a need, and it's a little concerning walking in the end of July, first day of training camp, you lose your starting inside linebacker.
Yeah.
So it's not ideal.
And that's the thing, too. Like, so we were talking about depth, but he was our number one. He was the number one.
Right.
I mean, then we're talking about either Roseboom or Wallace coming in as the number two, with the other being the number three. So now we've completely gone away with our depth. I mean, literally, I would have to pull it up to see what the depth is. But as far as impact players on our roster that we thought were going to be contributing at that position, it was those three guys in a rotation, right? I mean, so this completely takes out the depth that we thought we might have, at least to at least a rotation depth of good quality. So it really, this is a shocker to me. I mean, I know when we posted it, or when John posted it in our chat, my main reaction was WTF, because I hadn't heard anything about this. I hadn't heard anything about this all off season. Even ending the season last year, didn't hear anything about this concussion deal with Josey Jewell, and definitely didn't know it was still lingering. This point, I thought all confidence was that he was going to be our starting inside linebacker, our number one inside linebacker, calling the plays and all that. I guess, a little bit, at least Trevin Wallace did have some experience with that and calling plays during a little bit of stretch that Jewell was out early before Wallace himself got hurt some. But I don't know. That's going to be definitely, I was sort of like, all right, what do we get in Wallace anyway? This is going to be his time to show out, I guess. Definitely an opportunity for him. I think Roseboom I really think Roseboom was going to be our number two anyway. So I think that's sort of, I guess, and he has experience. Roseboom does have experience in this defense because he played in it in LA with when Ajero was there at some point. So I don't know. Maybe is Roseboom going to be the signal caller? Is Wallace going to pick it up from last year? I don't really know what's going to happen now. Again, I think it was pretty much all well assumed that Josey Jewell was going to be that guy. So now we're going to be filling that gap as well. And just more, we hope that defensive line is going to be letting our linebackers run free, because it looks like, I would say it's going to be a downgrade. Whoever we do bring in and put in that spot, it's probably going to be a downgrade from what Josey Jewell would have provided.
Right. Well, I was just looking at, top available free agents right now, and linebacker pops up as Kazir White. White produced 137 tackles and 17 starts in Arizona last year. He tallied 4 straight seasons of at least 90 tackles. Arizona was comfortable moving on from White. They signed linebacker Davis Gaither and drafted Cody Simon in the 4th round. Cody Simon in the 4th round. So, that he's apparently the 6th ranked available free agent, and it's the first defensive player at linebacker. You saw like Asante Samuel Jr. as a free agent, Juwan Blackman, Justin Simmons, Those are some other defenders that are available, but the linebacker position as a need here, Kaiser White seems have a pretty successful season last year. So,
I've seen
that's
a
an
lot of
option.
top guys scrolling on this list. A lot of top guys. I mean, we're talking almost 10 years.
Right.
10-year pro. So, I mean, that's not really, to me, that's just not what we're looking for. I mean, I guess if you need a stopgap guy, I mean, it's out
until
there.
the draft next year, right? But I mean
Right.
that's an option. That's an option. At least it's somebody. If we are expecting to be, having a big year, we can't go into the season not having that inside linebacker starter filled.
No.
And that seems like a good replacement if we could potentially land something with him. So I'm trying to stay a little positive on that, and let's hope that they have a plan. I mean, they've had a plan this entire time, so they've done a great job this offseason, filling the holes and doing what they need to do. So I'm not going to question their decision. I mean, obviously it was a health issue anyway. It's not anything they could really choose to do. Like, they had to do this because he wasn't passing protocol. So it was not their choice. They had to do it. Their hands were tied.
It was hand they dealt.
Right.
Or hand they were
Their hands
dealt.
were tied. So at the end of the day, like, they have to be able to open that roster spot to potentially land via signing a free agent like a White, or maybe promote someone that they have kind of worked through the system a little bit, and maybe they have some faith in some of the guys that we have on the roster. That's some John Casey type mentality, but not sign anybody, just promote from within type thing. But I do think we need to fill it with a better player. I mean, we were one of the worst defenses in the league. We were the worst defense in the league last year, and he was one of our only decent players in the worst defense in the league. So you lose that. So that's a concern, and I don't want to have to go into the season not knowing who the backup for Trevin Wallace or Roseboom is. I mean, it definitely opens the door for Roseboom to absolutely start right away. But like you said, who's behind those two? This is a 3-4 now. You have to start 2 inside linebackers. So we need to find that 4th inside linebacker to help alleviate the starters. Really, I don't even know who our 3rd is, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it.
Well, while I'm doing this, let me just pull this up.
Right.
So this is what we're looking at. We got, let's see, Claudin. What's this? Claudin?
Chairless.
Yeah. Bam Martin Scott, who was he's a rookie,
right?
Undrafted rookie. This Namora.
Oh yeah, the undrafted.
From Fresno State. Now there was a lot of talk about this guy and being a sleeper. Maybe good size, 6'1", 220.
Right.
There's a lot of talk about him, really explosive. So maybe that's a good thing right there. Maybe he's just lurking there. But
if he pans out, that's another undrafted guy that we can, like a Coker. Let's say he is the defensive equivalent of Coker and just come in and is efficient. I mean, he has a great profile. I've heard a lot of good stuff about this guy. So I forgot all about him, honestly.
Yeah. So, that's just sort of what we're looking at. There's really not a whole lot of depth there. A lot of guys we don't know. There's 2 rookies. They might be out of this list right here, they would be what I would hope for, So,
they don't even have his age listed.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. I want to say he was an older guy too. Like maybe he was a 5-year guy.
I don't remember Jacoby Windman.
No, I don't either.
So,
well, he's a 2-year guy, right? Out of Michigan, so he's probably just a practice squad guy.
Right.
So it's just we're not dealing with a lot of backup there. So
it is frustrating. Like I said, that was one of our kind of like our depth needs this year, and then now we've lost our starter. Like, it's like the worst case scenario to lose the starter when it's already a major need when it comes to like the depth of the position as a whole. So a little concerning. I'm not enjoying the fact that we have to go through this, but
no, because what I say, it was the last recording or one before that, my biggest thing was the depth.
Right.
Having depth everywhere. The linebacker was definitely in one of the weak spots, and now it's already hit us. Injuries was not something. If we could get through training camp injury free, that was a big plus for me. Well, now we ain't even started. We ain't even started training camp because veterans reported today, and then this comes out. So this means they went through all their physicals and everything, and ultimately Josey Jewell had to make the call and say, "Hey, I'm going to side with my long-term health here, and I'm going to have to check out, guys."
Right.
So it's not how you want to open camp. Losing.
I know Joe Persons was talking about how the front office and just Josey Jewell's agent were discussing the contract situation, trying to find a way to make it work, but they ultimately decided to just go ahead and part ways. It did go down as a failed physical on a vet, right? So I don't know what that's going to look like. I still don't have any news on like what that looks like when it comes to contract structure.
Yeah.
If they fail the physical because of health, does that mean that we're still guaranteed to give them money? So I guess that would come into the fine print of the contract, that we don't have that information at this moment. Yeah. So kind of hard to tell exactly what it is that they're going to potentially be able to do. So there's just a lot of questions around that. So in the days and weeks coming in, like before the season starts, like I said, I mean, it is preseason. Teams are going to have to cut to their 53. Maybe there's guys that just outshine a starter and they decide to cut bait to save cap. And then there's a nice veteran available for us that, hey, at a discount, right? Because they're still getting their guarantee, but it saves some cap space so they can sign some guys or whatever. I don't know. You know how it works in preseason, right? Those 53-man cuts, some guys are just going to go and be available for us. So that it is the time to do this, and it's the right time to go ahead and make this decision to open up that cap space, whatever that may be, whatever that number looks like. So here we are, right? So we'll move forward. Big news is what was it? 255 of the 257 rookies have been signed, and the only two that have not been signed is Quinshon Judkins and the Shamir Stewart for the Bengals.
Yes.
So a first rounder and I think a second round. I think Quinshon was a second rounder, maybe a third. But obvious reasons why Quinshon Judkins hasn't been signed. He has a domestic abuse charge that happened right up the street from me. Like, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. I read the police report. This happened right outside of the airport of Fort Lauderdale, and I'm 10 minutes from the airport. I just doxed this shit out of myself, but here we are.
You're in a hot box for this type of activity.
I know, yeah. South Florida, all the athletes are coming here beating their wives. So here we are. So it was his girlfriend. The police report was pretty wild. I'm not going to get into the details, but just know that there was some sort of little altercation, like verbal altercation, maybe a misunderstanding. And Quinshon Judkins decided it was a good idea to just start putting his hands on his girlfriend in a physical manner. But here we are. Now he's not signed, and who knows what that's going to look like. And I know the legal process needs to go through, but definitely not a good look for the rookie. And then Shamir Stewart is still going through his contract dispute with the Cincinnati Bengals, having some issues getting that contract worked out when it comes to the guarantees and the way that they want to start to restructure all that stuff. We've talked about this in the past. So we're still waiting on that. Only two guys not signed. So that brings us to our guy, and that is here we go. You got it. So Nick Scorton. Panthers reach agreement tonight with second-round pick Nick Scorton. Panthers executives Dan Morgan and Brand Hillis finished the 4-year deal tonight with Scorton's agents Jeff Naley, and I didn't know he had multiple agents.
Yeah, it's a firm. It's two guys.
That's interesting. I've never seen that before. I usually see only one agent. So so now we got our second round pick. This is something we were kind of concerned about last episode, dealing with these second rounders getting the fully guaranteed contracts. It was just kind of a weird place. We're in a weird place right now, and it's good to have the players getting their pay, and I want to see the players get paid, but it's a weird world to live in when everybody in the second round is demanding for some sort of a max contract when they have no NFL experience. So from an executive standpoint, I get from a business aspect why it's a little sketchy to be signing these guys to fully guaranteed contracts. I haven't seen like the structure of his contract. I don't know if you've seen that, Seth. Maybe we can get that here in this episode.
I have not seen it yet. I don't know if they've released it yet. And it seems like the Panthers try to keep this stuff like
Kind of in-house, right?
hidden. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen anything yet. I actually looked up, and you said you brought out about 2 agents or whatever. So I actually looked up going into the weekend before the news come out. I tried to look up his agents. I found that these were the 2 agents. I tried to find if they were representing any other second round picks to see if they've gotten any signed, if you know what any of the press was as far as their second round picks. I was unable to find any of that, which now, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that we were able to get that deal done, but I'm still looking for the details of that.
Right.
The Panthers, again, it's like they try to keep all this stuff in-house, and maybe it'll finally leak out, but I have not seen anything yet as far as to what the details and how that contract's going to be broke down. I would assume that it's a good bit guaranteed because I think everyone around him was getting somewhere from like 80% guaranteed. So, So I would think it's probably somewhere in that neighborhood. I doubt it's 100% guaranteed, or I think we would have heard that already. So I'm thinking it's probably somewhere in that 80%.
Yeah, that'd be NFL news right there. That'd have been a headline. Panthers second round pick, Nick Gordon, max deal for his draft position, right? But we'll talk a little bit about, or we'll show him talking a little bit about the process. There we go.
Concerned that you wouldn't be here, and as a guy who's kind of said you're very big into your playbook, very big into film, I mean, were you concerned at all about potentially not getting off on the right foot?
No, sir. I mean, since the day I stepped foot in the building, I've just been worried about football. I mean, I can't really control those things, and I let my agents and the Panthers, that's between them. All I can do is my best foot forward and come out here and become a better player.
But was there a sense of relief when it was finally done?
I mean, I knew it was coming. I mean, as long as I stayed in good standing with the team and I did what I had to do, I knew it was coming. So I guess it's kind of just good to just get that out of the way.
Have you stayed in touch with Shamar Stewart at all, and kind of what he's going through? Kind of, he's trying to set a precedent, so to speak.
I mean, Stu is my brother. I love him, but I kind of, like I said, I mean, I'm a rookie too. I got things to focus on, and I'm praying for him. I'm praying for everything he's going through. I bet it's rough handling all that stuff, but I'm kind of just focusing on myself and my career.
I like how his approach was. I'm not, I knew it was going to happen. I knew if I, continued doing what I was supposed to do here in the process and keeping that reputation going, that they were going to be working with me, right? So he's doing all the right things. He's grinding. He's doing what he needs to do behind the scenes. Him and Princely. Oh man,
Your mommy yelling.
Your mommy yelling. Yeah, that's a tough one. It just had me about to start. Those 2 guys, second and third round picks. Even Tet Tet is killing it right now. Tet is having a great preseason. There was, some stuff that we'll show here in a little bit, but great footage on his blog, right? Like with the guys, and good moments with the guys out on the water and at practices, like one-on-one with Bryce, throwing whatever routes they're working on with their playbook, and just kind of getting that connection. So it's right now like the 3 guys that we've signed. Well, we signed all of our rookies, but those top 3 guys, I mean, they're showing a lot of promise. It's looking like we're on the right track, and it's impressive to see how quick Dan Morgan and Dave Canales kind of really flipped this thing from the 2 years ago when Frank Reich was running the show. When not Dave Gettleman, but I always forget his name because
Scott Fitter.
Scott Fitter. I always forget his name because I hate this guy, but I just forget it because he's such a bad GM. But Scott Fitter and Frank Reich and all those guys, what they did to this franchise was just rough. It looks like you found a good deal.
This is what I've been able to find. No guaranteed. It doesn't show any guaranteed money, but this is the breakdown on how it's going.
Okay.
2.8 signing bonus, 8.6 over 4 years, 2.15 as the average. So.
Yeah, annual average. I mean, the math is mathing. I mean,
yeah, right.
You know,
but it doesn't say whether it's guaranteed, fully guaranteed, 80% guaranteed. It doesn't say any of that. But that's the numbers that are available right now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it. I mean, at least the way that's written is it's evenly dispersed throughout every year, right? So hopefully, we get some details on what the guarantees are because there's no guarantee that the rookie is going to come in and, make earn the money that he was given, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I was talking about it. I'm wearing his jersey, right? Like Bryce Young. Bryce Young didn't technically earn a fully guaranteed contract his rookie year. So who did that hurt, right? It hurt the franchise. It hurt the franchise on being able to use those funds the following season to provide more pieces around your quarterback who happened to struggle.
Yeah, the only argument would be for like Bryce for a number one overall pick. Like you're not going to cut bait on that guy. You know what
Absolutely
I'm saying?
not. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a whole lot easier to give a guaranteed contract to your first overall pick or to a top pick versus a guy you're picking in the second round, third round.
Right.
So, excuse me. My biggest thing is how far is this going to end up slipping? Are we going to get out of the second round at some point? Are we going to go all the way down the second round into the third round? Or when are we going to?
Right.
Where's it going to get cut at?
Where's it end? Right. Where's the line in the sand? And no, that's exactly kind of what our point has been, right, with this particular subject. And it's a touchy one because, again, I think everybody wants to see the players succeed. They want to see the players get paid. I mean, It's a violent sport, but it's just not like rational to think that they're going to pan out. And when it comes to business, to assume that these guys are just automatically going to come in and be, be what their draft capital was, right? Perform to what their draft capital represented, right? That never happens. Like second rounders, you're talking, it's probably like a 10 to 20% of those guys really perform. And like some of them, those exceed the expectations of the second rounder, right? But there's a ton of those guys who perform like they're a third rounder, perform like a fourth rounder. We got Terrace Marshall. Like the dude played like he was an undrafted free agent in the second round, right? Jonathan Mingo literally got traded the next year for a fifth rounder.
Yeah.
A fourth or fifth, to the Cowboys.
I think it was a fourth. Was it fourth?
It may have been a fourth. Yeah. So, like, the very next season, a second round pick was moved right away because it didn't pan out. And we have, as a Panthers organization, as fans of that team, we have so many examples of second round picks failing, third round picks failing, fourth round picks failing. We have examples of first round picks failing, right? Like,
ideally you want every one of them to hit and you'd guarantee them, but it's just not going to happen.
Right. So it's just hard to commit all of that money because then when it says guaranteed, the team that signed them is held liable for that contract. Even if you trade them, they are held liable for that contract because they're the team that signed the deal. So it goes into dead cap when they are moved. It goes to dead cap funds. Why do you think the Panthers have all this dead cap all the time? Because we are negligent with our guarantees, and then it doesn't pan out. We have to cut players, and we're just trying to just get people to show up to our freaking franchise, and we're doing these over promises in the contract negotiations, and we get over leveraged, and we always struggle with our contract. So we are literally a prime example of how guaranteed money will backfire. And so when you look at that in a nutshell, like it's just not responsible from the front office to just give all of that guaranteed money to something that is unproven.
Yeah,
It's just irresponsible.
And then the argument is, well, it's a lot lower guaranteed money because it's only 10 million. Just over 10 million.
Yeah.
We're talking about with signing bonus and with
Right.
salary, right? Just over 10 million. This is the argument now. This is not me arguing against it because I
Right.
agree. But the argument is, well, it's such a small amount of money. Okay. But if you guarantee this guy, say you're giving him the $2 million signing bonus, plus he's getting $2 million a year. Now, if you're fully guaranteeing all of that, so he's going to get that regardless. And here we're just talking about Josey Jewell and wondering if we're going to get that $2 million
Right.
he's owed back. Those $2
Right.
millions add up. So if we're guaranteed $2 million to a rookie player, you say year 2, 3, he's not already panning out. He's on a 4-year deal. But we're still on the hook for those $2 million for the next couple of years.
Right.
And then you add in players like Josey Jewell, where if we're on the hook for that $2 million, so now we're at $4 million. That becomes a contract for a veteran player that could come in and contribute. And we
Right.
can't give that because, well, we've tied up our money and guaranteed with rookie players that aren't really contributing. That becomes the problem. So, yeah, that's an argument you could have, but to me, you start adding those numbers up, those $2 million here, $2 million there, that makes contracts for good players that we can't give out.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you're really starting to you're piling up that dead cap when it doesn't pan out. You're piling it up. And now if they all hit, of course, like ideally, like you said, ideally you want them to hit. Ideally you want to have these guys succeed. No one wants to see the dude succeed or fail, I should say.
Yeah.
They want to see him succeed, obviously, right? So you want to have the best possible outcome, for your franchise as you can.
We want them to be all Pro Bowlers.
Right. So it's just, I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of what that signing bonus or what that guaranteed was, but at this point in time, I'm just happy we have everybody locked in and under contract, so we can go ahead and just move forward and focus on this preseason with these rookies, get these guys in there to start, training the way that they need to, get into the system, let Ajero Vero throw these dudes left, right, see what they do. See, hey, is Umami Yellen better on the left side? Is he better on the right side? Pat Jones, what's Pat Jones' outlook looking like? And then, just to get these guys around, get them in this practices. Don't let them sit out. So I'm just happy that has happened. I'm happy that everybody's signed. So we aren't the Bengals and we aren't the Browns. That's all I care about.
Right.
So
I don't want to be the Bengals right now, with what they're going through.
Right.
Having to deal with that, which they have issues on top of issues, really. But
right.
Yeah, my biggest thing, and I put it on our Facebook group too. The biggest thing for me was this is done going in the weekend before camp. We don't have to worry about this throughout camp. That takes a huge load to me. That takes a huge load and saves us from worrying. I mean, some people may not care at all, but that's something that definitely impacts me because my thing is I want all our team there. I want everybody that we have, on our roster. I want them at camp. I want them contributing,
right,
putting in the reps, getting used to the defenses, getting used to their players. And I know we've had OTAs and stuff like that, all these, voluntary and mandatory mini camps and stuff like that, but that's not the same as training camp. Getting out there, I mean, these guys over the next 3 to 4 weeks are going to be taking some live reps because they're going to, and I say live, there's going to be, full speed because they're going to know what they got in all these guys, especially where we're talking about now, now we got to figure out inside linebacker. So that's even more of a push. We got to see what that D line is going to do. We're already talking about scorting with the possibility of bumping Pat Jones. So if he's not there, if he's not available, Well, that makes that opportunity for him to make that jump that much more difficult. Being that all this is settled before we hit camp, before camp is open, is a big win in my book. Something I'm definitely glad that we got done. You know, I have spent too much time with the Burns situation over the past few years.
My gosh.
I mean, it just drove me nuts. Drove me
Right.
nuts that we wouldn't take care of that.
Just sign the man. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the same thing with it. I'm glad we worked it out. I'm glad he's available day one of camp. He was able to get there, Monday with the rookies, show up. All that is behind us now. We don't have to worry about that. Everybody is signed. Unfortunately, we do still have the Josey Jewell thing, but Scorton being in camp, deal locked in. That's a definite win for us.
Right. Well, some other good stuff going on here. Tet McMillan, right, rookie. He has this YouTube channel where he has a little blog, and we got some little cool video footage here of the guys just enjoying themselves in the free agency or off season.
And that's Jacoby, right?
Hey, where we go? Yeah. She shouted all the key. When they made you, they were from the mud, so I'm the truth. You know what I'm saying?
This is funny.
Hey, I'm in there. Come on, all the way. Come on, do a little jump. Well, I'm scared of this. I swear to God. Bro, I promise you, you ain't even gonna go barely down. I can't feel at the bottom of it. No, there ain't nothing down there. What does? You ankle deep. Bro, you can hold on to the board. You can hold on to the deck. Come on, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that's Xavier Leggett out here. I when I first saw the tweet about that, I said he's as scared of the water as the lake water as he is catching football. Hopefully that gets better this year.
Yeah.
We'll see. Definitely some PTSD on that. We had some big drops from my man's there.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see the guys, their personalities like kind of meshing. They're getting that chemistry together. That's why I wanted to show that. These guys are just out there having a good time. I mean, obviously the earlier part of the video is them at the practice field. Bryce throwing some passes to all the guys, and Tet McMillan's route running, which I'm pretty impressed with. I mean, the dude moves really well for a guy who's 6'5".
In and out of his breaks, yeah.
Right. And that's one of the impressive deals with Tet McMillan. And I think a lot of people are seeing this, and they know, like, this guy might be the real deal.
Yeah.
And that's coming from the guy who wanted Matthew Golden,
Right.
But I'm seeing the side of Tet McMillan that was gave him this top 10 draft capital. The side of him that, all right, he is motivated. He does love the game. He does want to be a part of the team. He does want to be a part of the franchise. He does want to be in the NFL. He does love the game. And that was my biggest issue with Tet McMillan, just because of the rumors about his lack of interest in studying and all of these things that kind of were coming up in the preseason and the pre-draft process. So I'm just glad to finally see all of these guys kind of see their personalities a little bit more, because we don't really get a lot of visibility to this franchise. Like you said, Seth, earlier, the contracts are even kind of private. Like, we don't know what's going on. So it's good to kind of see these guys meshing and getting to know each other and having fun with one another, practicing together, the entire receiver group, as well as Bryce Young going to Minnesota and doing this off-season training before training camp. So that just shows you practice hasn't stopped for these guys.
Yep.
Like, they went to mini camp. We're going to Minnesota. We're about to go continue working together. That's leadership from Bryce. I'm not sure who organized this. Maybe Thielen.
It looked like Thielen, Minnesota. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Could have been Thielen organizing this, and that's that leadership we need. You know, I wish it was Bryce, but
Yeah.
you know, we don't know if it was maybe a duel. We don't know. We don't know the behind the scenes. All we know
Right.
is the whole group was there, and it was just awesome to see these guys building that chemistry, building that relationship, building that, you know, camaraderie in the group. So that's positive stuff, and I haven't seen anything like that ever. Like from a
No,
receiver group, how many times have you ever seen that?
I hadn't heard of it either.
Yeah.
With media the way it is now, yeah, seeing it might be an issue, but I hadn't heard of that. I hadn't heard of that.
Right.
Like Steve Smith, Jake Delhomme, I never heard of them getting together. Cam and whoever, the cast was at that time, I never heard of them getting together. So,
Right.
Just even being able to hear about it, this is something to me that's sort of I hadn't heard until really Bryce got there, Thielen got there,
Yeah.
which was the same year.
You know, the only time I've ever heard of the receiving room as a quarterback is Tom Brady and Edelman and Wes Welker and Gronk, and like it was the Tom Brady stuff, right? Like that's the only time.
I think I've heard some Drew Brees back in the day. I think Drew Brees used to get together with his receivers and stuff. But yeah, the top quarterback type thing, yeah.
Right. And so this is kind of a new thing for us, for the Panthers. Like I've never heard this. I've never heard this. So that's just all positive feedback, and it's cool that he has his own little blog, and I'm curious to see kind of the updates on his profile here on YouTube over the course of this off season, because that might be one of our few resources to like clips for our team, since the media can't get there, right? Or since we as the public can't get there. Because they're doing it. Where's the practice at again? It's closed off because they're.
Is that the practice facilities? It's just because of the construction going on with their practice facilities. It's
right.
It's closed off. To media can be there, but it's only a select media. It's not like before where, we were in Facebook groups and guys from our Facebook groups were there posting videos and stuff like that. That's not going to happen this year. So it's just the media with legit media credentials that are available.
Writers.
Yeah. That's the Joe Pearsons and persons or stuff like that. That's the guys that are going to be there. And so it's going to be limited. It's going to be limited what we can see. Before we were in a Facebook group and we could just see it because there were multiple people in the group that were going. And that was great, but this year's not going to be like that.
Right.
So, we're definitely going to be limited in what we can see this year. So, being that they're giving us another outlet, be it via Tet and his vlog, I mean, thank you, Tet. We appreciate that. Or T-Mac, excuse me. We appreciate that.
Whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, right. As long as I call you.
Yeah, I'm just, John. I think we got John a Tetarola McMillan jersey, right? The black.
Yes, that was what he got. Yeah, for our host fantasy football. That was the prize, was the jersey of your choice. And what he chose, did he get the blue or was it black? It was black only because they didn't have blue.
Yeah, they only have the black.
They only had the black. Yeah.
We're getting yawning.
That black's tough in August, though.
Yeah, should have made me a coffee. Can't drink beer, so I'm yawning now. This fast is kicking me. But no, what were you just talking about? So before the jersey,
with the media and all that stuff, the availability and all that.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, obviously, to get some like feedback from the public. So we're definitely going to be depending on these Twitter warriors, from the media to not spam us with their opportunity of buy my program.
Like the Charlotte Observer, pay your $100 or whatever for the
$1 a month or something.
Yeah.
And then probably bump you up to $100 a month. But I've never paid for it. But we got Locked On Panthers. He's going to be able to be there. Luckily, 99.9 The Fan. I think they can actually show up to the practices. So those are kind of the resources that we have at our display here that we can hopefully get some information that's not, just a bunch of NFL, ESPN analysts BS. Like, oh, Panthers are sucky. So,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, did you see that the Panthers were viewed as the 30th worst roster in the NFL?
No, I didn't see this.
Yeah. So a bunch of the ESPN analysts, or sports analysts, got together and they graded out 1 through 32, and then they averaged the results to then put us as the 30th ranked roster in the league. What do you think about that?
Man, a lot of people are sleeping. That's all I can say. We went through it last pod with the reference that we had. I just think a lot of people are sleeping on it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to.
They did have us, I believe, above the Saints.
Well, we should be. We should be. So if we're 30th, they're what, 31st, 32nd?
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that. Was Tyrann Mathieu still a Saint?
I don't think. I thought he was already gone.
I mean, he just retired.
Yeah, he just retired. Wasn't he?
Was he already a free agent?
Didn't he spend last year with somebody else?
I'm not sure.
I thought
he
they
was
released
still
him
there
last year.
I thought he was still there, but I know he's not there now. So guaranteed.
Loss either way.
Yeah. So Tyrann Mathieu retired. So I thought he played for the Saints last year, but it's hard to keep track of that many players. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
there's so many players in the league, but yeah, Tyrann Mathieu, he's gone. So if he was there last year, that's just one less guy they got again. So hey, that helps us even more, right? But yeah, no, just on that ranking, I see what people are saying from an outside perspective on names, and we don't have true big name players in comparison to other rosters in the league, where they might have 3 or 4 great star players, and then they have a lot of guys with great potential. We don't have a big name besides Brown and Horn, and really not many people know Mo Rig. Not many people know him. So your linebackers, nobody really knows them. Mike Jackson, everybody's sleeping on Mike Jackson.
Yes.
We don't have a number 3. We have Turk Wharton, but he's never really been seen as some stud.
He's Chris Jones' second.
Exactly. Oh, he's just a product of Chris Jones. We have somebody on this podcast that said the same thing. Not in this chat right now, but we have had someone in this podcast say the same thing. Oh, he's a product of Chris Jones. Blah, 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 blah. He led the team in sacks last year.
I think the biggest thing comes down to people discrediting Bryce still. I think that's what it comes down to.
Right.
Because if they're giving Bryce credit for his turnaround last year and what he done down the stretch in those last 8 games, right? I think they're discrediting that still. I think I think they're
the majority are for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. They're still thinking that Bryce is the Bryce that they seen his rookie year, his first 2 games of his sophomore season. I think that's what it comes down to.
Right.
They're just discrediting Bryce, and I mean they're not even looking at the fact. I mean, again, a couple podcasts ago, I'm like, all right, Rico Dowdle. Nobody's talking about Rico Dowdle. We have 2,000-yard rushers on our team.
Right.
That they are very
sleeping,
very similar. So we can swap those guys out without a drop. Without a drop, there's no change in what we can do offensively when we pull one of those guys out, when we swap those guys out.
Exactly.
And again, I talked about the depth at receiver. Never seen depth at receiver like we currently have.
Not on this roster.
And I know
on
people
on any Panthers roster.
And I think, a lot of people they're going back to again, we're sort of guilty. Me and you both are guilty of the T-Mac thing and sort of undervaluing him for what we, I wanted more defense. You thought Matthew Golden is a better receiver. I didn't like, at the time I was definitely disappointed in the pick because I was wanting the defense to get addressed. Well, I think eventually they did address it, and I think they addressed it very good. So that sort of changed my mind and my opinion on what we did. And I think,
Right.
T-Mac was definitely an improvement over what would have been our number one receiver.
Right.
I mean, whether you want to say XL or Thielen was at number one, well, now I think it's clear that, T-Mac is going to be that number one.
Right.
With everybody else filing in and fitting in a role.
Right.
I already talked about the depth and how any of these number of guys can come in and play the X, Y, and the Z. So, and there's a video I showed. I don't know if I shared it with y'all. I think I did. Maybe I didn't put it out. I put it on our Facebook group. But where Bryce operates best and where he was able to actually turn things around is when Dave Canales started operating out of an empty set.
Right.
No running back and running five wides and no running back. And he was able to dice people up. And you're talking about a receiving core now, even throw Hunter Renfrow in, even David Moore for that fact. And I'm not even a huge David Moore supporter or fan, but David Moore can come out there and he can fill a role for you. And if
Right.
you can move all these guys around, play the X, Y, the Z, any point in between in a 5 receiver set, and they can be an option for Bryce. And I don't think people have seen enough and know enough to give Bryce his credit for what he can do, just because of what they have seen and the limited amount of opportunities that Bryce had. And people just were out on the Panthers last year and didn't pay attention toward the end when he started cooking. And he started cooking with some of these, with these no back sets. And even with the running back now, we will be able to rotate those running backs. Chuba and Rico can be rotated in and out with no change in the offense, no change in approach. We will still be able to run that offense. And again, receivers, same thing. You can rotate those guys all the way around, and
Right.
Bryce can still go out there and operate with what he's got on the field.
Right.
I think people are completely missing what the upgrade is going to be on our offense, and I think they're underselling the changes we made on defense because we were so bad on defense. They just want to say that we're still going to be bad.
Right.
But we changed our whole defensive front. We brought in Pat Jones. We haven't seen a full season of Wanham. Wanham come out again, like you said. I mean, down the stretch, he led our team in sacks. We haven't seen a full season of Wanham because he dealt with injury coming in.
Right.
So, and again, I put that on Dan Morgan and the GM and all that. Did they not do their homework before going into last season to know when one was going to be available?
That one was tough because he had just a freak issue, like an infection, I believe it was. Like he just had this freak infection
off of his injury.
From surgery and all that stuff. That was like kind of unexpected. Like, I think the whole intent was to have him playing by like week 5, but then, maybe even by week 1, maybe he was supposed to technically be cleared by then. But that issue, the secondary issue that came up from his surgery and his recovery, kind of pushed. He had like an infection in his blood. You know what I mean? Like, it was like pretty bad. I'm not trying to misspeak. I just know he had some sort of a lingering issue, and it was like completely unexpected. So I don't want to say that they didn't do their due diligence. I just think they got kind of caught off guard with a hiccup, But I do think that with that signing, I do think that they signed him with the intent to, really have him for this year. I don't think they really wanted or tried to do a 1 year over. Right. I don't think they tried to do some 1 year overhaul after Frank Reich. I think you can see by the way that they groomed the young guys, kept a lot of the undrafted free agents. Like, we kept like 3 or 4 undrafted free agents to just give them reps to just see, hey, we'll see what they are, right? Give them the opportunities. And Dave Canales is huge with we got to teach the guys that we have. We got to coach up the guys that we have. They got to get better every day. That's just Dave Canales. That's just how he approaches this. So I don't think they ever signed him with the intent that, he's going to be some all-pro player this year. And so, hey, it wasn't like, you know what? Obviously, we're not going to sit and rush him back with this complication. Like, let's let him get fully healthy. And then the goal is to come in here this season with him fully healthy, couple games under his belt, and really attack that pass rush. And they had to obviously have some sort of confidence with him. Got rid of Jadeveon Clowney, right? Like, and not that he's some pass rushing guru, but they feel that all right, we've got our guy who everybody's sleeping on. Everybody's looking at it as, it's Wanham. He's not T.J. Watt. Nobody's saying that he's going to get paid $237 million over a 5-year deal. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying he's Brian Burns in his as a pass rusher. But I do think he adds a lot to that pass rush that we have been missing for quite some time. Like, I think he's a little bit more well-rounded than Brian Burns was as a 3-4 outside linebacker. I think he's better at run support than Brian Burns ever was. Now, we could argue that Brian Burns is a better pass rusher, like pure pass rusher, because he was just a freak. Like his athletic ability, his speed off the ball, whether he can get the shoulder lean. He had a great lean, and his speed rush was one of the best. His issue was he didn't really have much else, right? Like Brian Burns didn't really have much else other than a speed rush. He never really had those power rushes. He never really had that move where he get that full extension on the inside shoulder of a tackle and then just drive them and then get the inside to when the quarterback steps up. We didn't really get to see that type of stuff from him. Wanham is a little bit more well-rounded as a pass rusher, but he's also a little bit more efficient with his run defending. So I like DJ Wanham, and I just think he's very underrated. Then we talk about Pat Jones. Like, what is he going to bring to the table? We've seen him work really well in the same type of situation, like on the other side of DJ Wanham, right? Like, we've seen Pat Jones and DJ Wanham paired up together on the field at the same time when they played for the Minnesota Vikings 2 years ago. And we've seen Pat Jones also have good success with Brian Flores last year for the Minnesota Vikings. I think he had like 8 sacks or something. It was situational stuff, and he wasn't like a premier starter. But, hey, if you got a guy that you can throw in on third down and he get pressure, looks like somebody is efficient. Like, you can get that guy in there in situations and pressure situations, 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, or even 3rd and longs where it's a passing situation. And you can just go, put your head down and just drive through. Pat Jones got a little bit of strength to him. And then you pair that with that rest of that D-line that we just signed this year. Bobby Brown, Derek Brown's back and healthy. Turk Wharton. Those guys are no joke. So 30th in the league, I think it's going to be one of those things where by week 4, week 5, week 6, people are going to be like, okay, they're not that bad. I don't think anybody's saying that we're going to sit here and go to a Super Bowl. But I do think that it's almost going to be one of those things where people are going to have to respect us every week. Like, and it could be anybody's game each week. And it's going to be put on notice.
Yeah.
And it's going to come down to how young we are. And maybe we don't close some of these games out. But again, this was done on purpose. Like, they want to create longevity, and they want to create a culture, and they want to create stability for the future. This isn't a one-year rebuild where the coach doesn't feel confident in his position as the head coach and feel the need and the desire I have to go make the playoffs this year. Like, Dave Canales, he's secure in his spot, and you can see it with the way he's approaching his coaching, getting the right players in that have potential. They still have DJ Johnson on the roster. Like, they're still grooming him. Like, he's still young. Like, and he had moments, like, if you listen to us in the past, we're a little indifferent on DJ Johnson. I think it was a little bit of an overpay. Second round pick, right? Or was he a 3rd round? He was a 2nd rounder. Another example, right? That what we were talking about earlier in the podcast. He just hasn't really panned out, but he's really a great athlete, and he was off the charts on his athletic profile. So he's one of those guys that maybe it clicks, and eventually, 3-4 years in, we start to really see DJ Johnson flourish.
Yeah, he was third round, 80th overall.
Third round, okay. And so there's potential there with him too. So, and we haven't even gotten to the secondary. So I'm not even too concerned with the offense. As you said, you talked about those running backs. We have 2,000-yard rushers. Chuba Hubbard, he has officially found himself as a true Carolina Panther. I mean, he grinded from the bottom up on this roster. Everybody slept on him, including us.
Yeah.
We had moments where we're like, what has this guy done, right? Come to find out, he was still mentally not cleared up from the ACL tear. And it took him a couple years, right, from college. And he was a Heisman candidate going into his junior year, maybe his senior year. But he was a Heisman candidate. And he ended up tearing his ACL. And it took him a few years. And he's talked about this a couple times. Like, hey, I never felt myself again until this year. I believe this was last offseason that he said this. I haven't felt like myself. I finally feel like I'm myself again. And he has a career year as the number one. And now you got another guy behind him that is just as efficient, just as good of a runner.
Yeah.
A little bit different style. Like I would definitely take Rico Dowdle as a pass catcher more than I would take Chuba as a pass catcher. But you know what Chuba's doing every day? He's hitting the jugs.
Yes,
every day.
More work than anybody.
Before practice, after practice, he's working on his deficiencies. And that's the type of guy you want, right? He is a Panther. He's climbing into that TD-esque Panther. Like he's giving it his all to us. So we have to love that about Chuba Hubbard and understand exactly what he's bringing. Like, he is the culture. Like, he is the guy. Like, you look at it, you're like, okay. Like, he gets it. He gets it, and he's giving everything he has to this team, to this franchise. 30th ranked team in the league. I'm not buying it. I think it's more from outside looking in. It's a little bit more it's a little bit more difficult to kind of see what it is that is going on in Carolina.
Yeah.
But again, as I said before, by week 4, week 5, I really think a lot of people are going to sit back and be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, we actually have to really game plan for this team. Like, this is no pushover.
It ain't going to be no walk in the park when you come to Bank of America anymore. No. Like, people will say that like the Chiefs and the Eagles, they slept on us. You know, they took it easy coming in, thinking it was going to be just a walk in the park, and we surprised them. That's what people were saying about last year.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're saying, by week 6, they're not going to be doing that. I do not. I have absolutely the utmost faith in this team right now, to be honest with you, that we will not be like that. And I can, they want to say that we'll be, 2-15 again. Nah, that's not happening. We're going to improve on that. We're not going to be 2-15 again. We're not going to be 5-12 again. We're going to improve on that 5-win season we had last year.
Right.
I mean, it's going to go up. We're not going to be bottom of the league again.
Right.
Now, we might still be in that 15 to 20 range. I haven't done my projections yet. I'm anywhere from 7 wins up to 10 wins. Right now, that's just where I'm at. It's an improvement. It's an improvement. It's at least in a 2-game. It's at least in a 2-game improvement on our record.
Right.
I don't see Canales falling back. And people want to talk about that. I saw a little bit about this, that, questioning his job, and, he's going to be sort of coaching for his job this year and everything. This is his year to show that he's turning his team around. Look, man, we're going to win 7 games at least. That's just me going right off the cuff right now on 7/22. We're going to win at least 7 games. And that's an improvement of 2 games. That is not a fireable season for where this team has been and the abysmalness that we have seen. I mean,
over the past 4
Coach
years,
Canales
that's
is
an
not coaching
improvement
for
each year.
his. Yeah, we would have to completely bomb out
Right.
for Canales to lose his job, and I just don't see that happening.
Right.
We've done too much and improved too much. And again, like I said last time, I mean, we've improved like all the defensive additions that we've added through free agency and in the draft. It's been an improvement as in the starting role and in the depth.
Right.
So again, the rotation that we can have at outside linebacker, the rotation we can have at defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. No matter what package we want to go with, I think we're set up pretty damn great.
Right.
Again, inside linebacker was my only issue. We did just lose our number one inside linebacker, but if that defensive line at that front 5 turns out the way I think it's going to turn out with the rotations we can have, I think we'll be all right. And I think we're still going to improve upon that win total. So going to sleep on us. There's a chance that we're going to be flirting with the division lead come the end of the season. I'm not going to say we're going to win it right now, but there's definitely a chance we'll be flirting with Tampa and Atlanta for the division come the end of the season.
Well, I mean, on subject from what you're talking about right now, we got a video right here talking about the competition that we have this year.
We don't want to spell breathe.
Listen, these are new socks.
Yeah.
I just took a shower this morning, so my feet don't stink yet.
That's a lot of time between this morning and now.
Beyonce, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we will start with questions for Rob.
Robert, last season you kicked down the door and you ultimately got that Pro Bowl that you were hoping for. Can you just reflect on that experience and then what's it going to take for you to repeat that?
So repeat it. We'll probably have to win some games. Hopefully we can do that. Got to play well, play better than I did last year. Every year's a different challenge in his own. So a lot of guys will come out of nowhere and get it, or a lot of guys are the same guys will play really well and get it. So, just got to be consistent, play well, help win games. Ultimately, if we win a lot of games and win the games we need to, maybe I don't go there. Go somewhere, a little bigger. So that's kind of the goal.
What's different about you've got a competition next to you at center. How do you find kind of chemistry with 2 guys that you've already worked with both of them, but like throughout the summer, like how do you work on getting that chemistry down? Because I play with both of them, I kind of know the tendencies of both guys. So it is what it is. I don't know. I let those guys compete. I wish both of them the best. At the end of the day, we're trying to win games, and both of those guys know that they're both capable of playing it on any team in this league. So, that's that.
Robert, what's different about the vibe this year than when you came here last year?
I think last year was nobody knew. You know what I mean? Including me, I got into a situation here. Not really knowing what I was getting into. Didn't know much about Carolina. Didn't know much about the Panthers. Never really watched them. Kept up with them. But then getting into the building, getting into the stadium, and playing the game stuff, you see. I don't know. You can feel it, man. It's, this city, speaking for the city, has a lot of hope. They want winners, and you can feel it once it's kind of close. We won 5 games last year, which is not great by any means, but it felt like we were doing something great. You know what I mean? Because it's the city looking for it. So that vibe feels great. The team vibe feels great. I feel like the teams feel that, and we all want to be good, man, no matter what it is. And that's that.
So it was a little, drug out there, but we got to it eventually. I like to see, the personality a little bit there at the beginning. It's good. I love seeing the real side of the players, right? But he got to that point. It's competition. He's happy to see the competition. This is just about the O-line, but he sees it too, right? He sees that there's something going on, and he can feel it. He's been to Miami, a playoff team, and he says that he can tell the fans are feeling this. There's a lot of optimism around this team right now, and the players see it The fans see it. Now it's time for the league to see it, and that's exactly where we're at in this process. And hey, it's one of those things that if it takes people forever to pick up on it, we'll let them show up on game day and sleep on us, and that's when they're gonna pick up on it. Yeah. Oh wow, they're the real fucking deal. Like maybe we should have took them serious this week. And hey, give us some dubs that way. Go ahead, sleep on us. Sleep on us. Bryce Young's gonna cook you. Turk Wharton, we talked about it last week. Turk Wharton's like, that boy got some eyes in the back of his head. He was doing some things. How did he get out of that? How did he know I was even there? Bryce has got it.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's nice. He's nice. He said he got that thing figured out. Like the league sees it. Some of the players are seeing it. Yeah. But it's a matter of these people that are the fans of the league, not the players of the league, the fans of the league, to start to kind of understand exactly what it is that's going on in Carolina. So I'm excited, man, and it's good to see the players. The players are also equally excited. I mean, like I said, we just watched a vlog. We watched Robert Hunt now in this post conference. We watched him Scorton. I mean, dude, they're ready.
There's a lot of people that do not pay attention. They don't know all the transactions that have been made. Mm-hmm. I had a guy at work just this week. He was like, you gonna get any games? He said, you gonna get any Panthers games this year? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I might. I was like, maybe one. I was like, I'm going to Fan Fest though. I already got my ticket for that. Yeah. And he was like, well, who's y'all's quarterback? Like, what? Like, that's your question? Who's our quarterback? I was like,
he ain't a fan of football.
It's Bryce Young. Oh, okay. You know, I was a fan of Andy Darnold. I was like, Andy Dalton. Oh yeah, was it Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle? I was like, yeah, that's Andy Dalton.
Okay.
Oh, is he still there? I was like, yeah, he's our backup. He ain't got a clue. Man. So
is he claimed to be a Panthers fan?
He's a Redskin though. He says he's a Redskins fan, but I don't know. I ain't gonna go too much into that because then he started talking to me about like I can't even remember the name. He started talking about RG3, Kirk Cousins. He started talking about was it Patrick Ramsey? I can't remember, but with the Commanders or with the Redskins. It was Ramsey, somebody. I can't remember. But it was back in like the 2000s or something like that. I'm like, yeah, okay. Do you know who your quarterback is now? Like, he didn't even mention Jaden Daniels.
Right.
He didn't even mention
the guy that just blew up the league last year as a rookie.
So I'm like, man. So there are fans like this. There are fans like this. There's like, Andy Darnold. He's still there. No, Andy Darnold. No, he's never played for us.
I don't know Andy Darnold. Yeah, there might be a guy that's like a welder somewhere in like Minnesota named Andy Darnold.
I know a Sam Darnold that is now the quarterback in Seattle that played for us. I know an Andy Dalton that's again our backup quarterback.
That's rough.
Yeah, but Bryce Young, he was like, Bryce Young. Oh, okay.
Hey, it's all good.
So there's a lot of people like that just do not have a clue what's going on. They do not understand what's being built.
Right.
So, and I will stand on it. We'll be better than 5 wins. We'll be a minimum of 7.
Yeah. I have a $20 bet with a guy in one of my dynasty leagues. He said we would win less than 6 games.
Oh, I was watching that stuff go down. I was like,
okay. I'll take a $20 bet. 6 games? We won 5 last year with a significantly worse roster. I'll take 6 games all day. So I'm excited about that free 20.
So one of our points. Yeah, one of our points, from last episode where I was talking about tight end, sort of being our one weakness on offense or whatever. So I just want to share this. This is talking about Noah Fant. The Seahawks released him this week. I think this was what, Monday, Sunday, whenever it was, the 20th. Noah Fant's release. Of course, they have a pretty loaded tight end room. They just drafted a tight end from Miami. Noah Fant, again, Seattle, the connection there. This is a possibility I can see from some familiarity with Dave Canales and want to bring in somebody that he knows and is familiar with his system. This is somebody, especially, now that we're talking about sort of, a position that's available right now as far as our roster goes and what we can bring to camp. Josey Jewell's out. Whether we're going to bring in a linebacker to replace him, whether we think we got the linebacker on the roster already to replace him. This Noah Fant is a possibility to come in and sort of bolster our tight end room, and he would be good.
Right.
He would be a good tight end to be able to bring in to put up there with Trimble and with JT Sanders, as well as Mitchell. We don't know what we got at Mitchell yet. I mean, we think a lot of people, like I said, the Gronk comparison is there, but we don't know what he's going to bring. So
Right.
Noah Fant would be an option out there that's available now for us to bring in and sort of bolster that position that I feel that we could use that at. So wanted to throw that out there as a possibility to bolster our roster a little bit more in depth.
Right. No, he's a great athlete. I think Jadavion Sanders and Noah Fant both pretty similar athletically. Noah Fant was a first-round draft pick, right? It shows it's 2019 first-round draft pick. First-round tight ends don't normally pan out. It's kind of weird how that works. It's always like the second, third, and fourth-round tight ends that seem to be like, I don't even know. Was Laporta a first-round pick? I think he was a second-round pick.
I'll look it up. Yeah, I don't think he wasn't. He definitely wasn't high pick.
Yeah. But very, very rare do we get like some first-round tight ends that actually pop off. We have guys like Pitts, top 10 pick, has still not been able to put it all together.
He was a second. He was an early second, 34.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think he was a first. But it's usually the second, third rounders. I mean, this year you have Colston Loveland. I mean, you had Michael Mayer. You have Brock Bowers last year, one of the few exceptions of a top first-round talent, really going nuts. I mean, he went insane. I mean, what a rookie
wide
year.
Receiver numbers.
Right. What a rookie year for Brock Bowers. But Noah Fant, I mean, he's just never really panned out. I mean, he's got an athletic profile. He's a fast guy. He was kind of looked at as like a potential wide receiver / tight end kind of guy coming out. That's why he got picked in the first round, because he had that skill set to really create separation in the slot. You could have him as a mismatch against the linebackers, mismatch against the safeties because of his size. Mismatch obviously against the corners. So there was just that potential for Noah Fant that just has never really panned out. So I'm curious to see what happens with Noah Fant. I'm not going to be like going crazy if Noah Fant does not sign with us. It is what it is, but I'll be also probably equally as, the same level of excitement if he doesn't sign with us or does sign with us. So, because I like the guys that we currently have, like you said, I like the young guys that we have. I'm not against just keeping those guys going, doing the growth through the coaching and improving their ability to block, improving their ability to run routes, improving their ability to catch the football. I'm not against that either. So, I'm indifferent. About Noah Fant. Again, he hasn't really done a whole lot in his career for me to stay here and be like, man, we have to go sign Noah Fant. Can't wait. Right. It's not like there's a reason he's getting cut, right? Mm-hmm. He's done nothing. Tight ends don't really get cut unless you're just not a good tight end.
Yeah.
But you have them, you want to keep them.
Yeah, and again, it would be a depth piece. I mean, I think Trimble and JT Sanders would be over him for sure. Mm-hmm. Then it's a matter of whether how quick Mitchell picks up and adapts to the system.
Got it.
Sorry about that. That dust, man, still hit me. Definitely it is a possibility. Somebody definitely out there worth giving a look to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll be watching this situation for sure, but not not gonna really care either way. Honestly, it's like like you said, if he signs with us, okay. Is he gonna beat anybody? Maybe. You know what I mean? But
He's not going to beat anybody out for position.
right, right. But yeah, as a depth piece, you can't complain about having a depth piece of tight end. Like you said, if Evans doesn't really pan out, or maybe it takes a little longer to master his craft. You know what I mean? So there's always that opportunity there. So let's look at what you got here. This like little snippet here.
Yep. So I wanted to bring this up. So this was the quarter century team, or the top 25 players in the top are in the first 25 years of this century. The Panthers were able to get two guys onto that list: Luke Kuechly and Julius Peppers. Big deals for the Panthers that we're able to have two guys on that list. Two out of 25 guys we were able to have on that list. I think it's huge. I mean, here's the rest of the list. I hope y'all can see it. But, I mean, Tom Brady's number one. I don't hardly any argument with that. Pat Mahomes, hard to argue that. Peyton Manning again. I mean, you can't argue with a lot of these names on here.
Right.
Yeah. So the only deal that comes down to is we talked about this. We had this conversation off air. The first thing you said was, if he's a top 25 in the
top 15,
he's top 15 in the top 25. He's top 15 in the top 25 in the first 25 years in this century. How does he not make first ballot Hall of Famer?
Just straight robbery. Honestly,
God. Disrespect.
It's robbery.
Disrespect.
Like, look at all the guys around him. You got Peyton, Aaron Rodgers, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Randy Moss, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, Calvin Johnson, and then there's Luke. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Hall of Famers, and then the guy right behind them is another Hall of Famer, Damian Thompson. In that top 15, all those guys have a trajectory to become a first ballot Hall of Famers, except for Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly could not become a first ballot Hall of Famer. That is insane to me.
And if Luke don't get it in year two, I don't know. We should riot. No, because people riot for less.
You're not wrong.
We should riot.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean this is a travesty. Is what I think it is. My boy, so Fred Warner gets first ballot Hall of Famer. Is Fred Warner on this list? No, he's not.
Nope.
I don't understand. I do not understand. I was completely hot about it on selection night. Our boy Luke Kuechly. I mean, and he's 14th actually. I said 15th, but he's 14th overall.
Yeah.
Man, it's just I don't know how you exclude him. I don't know how he's not first ballot.
Yeah,
it's just
he got robbed. I don't think anybody that's a Panthers fan. There's NFL fans. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Like NFL fans who didn't even follow the Panthers and watch this dude play and dominate the NFL. And they're like, how the heck did this guy not make first ballot?
Yeah.
So it's just, and I wonder who voted for this list. Who were the guys that voted for the top 25?
It definitely wasn't your Hall of Fame voters, that's for sure.
Yeah. Instead they want to get Shannon Sharp's brother in.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's
been out there for years.
Right. A guy who absolutely deserved to be first ballot. You go and jump him for a guy who's been available for 10, 15
since the
years.
Early night. Well, I guess it would have been. He would have been late 90s available because I think he retired in the early 90s.
That's his older brother.
That's Sterling Sharp's older brother. Yeah.
So frustrating. It's just so frustrating. But hey, here we are. That's the life of a Panthers fan, man. We don't ever get that respect. So
no respect.
Never.
Rodney Dangerfield over here. No respect. You get no respect at all.
They don't love us no more.
No,
they don't want us to succeed.
Definitely sad, but I'm glad that they did end up somewhere on that list. I mean, definitely should have. The fact that Peppers is 18th. I mean,
Was he first ballot? He was first ballot, right?
Yeah, he was first ballot. Yep, he should have been too. I mean, that dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that dude was ridiculous.
So he was first ballot, and he was lower ranked than Luke Kuechly, who was not first ballot.
On this
That's
top
another
25.
another example.
Yep.
Another example of how much robbery that was.
Yep. And
if you want to talk about like, oh, it's the amount of years he played. Well, Calvin Johnson didn't play a ton of career like years or whatever, but he was still first ballot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. We'll look at that one more time. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, like Rob Gronkowski is definitely going to be first ballot, I think. I mean, he's one of the better tight ends in league history.
He should be.
Right. Like LT, I'm pretty sure he's first ballot, right? Like all these names that are here were first ballots.
That were eligible, yeah.
They're all first ballots. That are Hall of Famers right now. Everybody on that top 25, they were all first ballots except for Luke.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're right. Yeah.
It's wild to me. So, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Can't fix it now. It's all in the past.
It is what it is, but
right.
Yeah, I'd say it's wrong.
No, it's absolutely wrong, dude. But yeah, if you have not yet started following, go to Facebook, Stop Capping Podcast, Instagram, Stop Capping Podcast, X or Twitter, Stop Capping Pod. Please like, subscribe the videos on YouTube. Go and put a little 5-star review because we know this is fire on our Spotify and Apple podcast. Every little click helps. Thank you for listening this far in. We're about an hour and a half in on this episode. Thank you guys for the support thus far. And as always, keep freaking pounding.
Keep pounding. Go Panthers.